What is a perception gap and why is it killing your dating life? In this video, I'm going to break down exactly the difference in how you perceive your actions, how women perceive your actions, and why this gap in a misunderstanding of how they perceive you is destroying your dating life. If you're new to the channel, my name is The Real Game. I coach men all around the world on making them masters at modern dating, female nature, female psychology, and everything in between. And one of the most common root cause problems, not a surface level problem, a root cause problem, is how men are perceiving the difference in their intent and actions versus how she is perceiving it. And this gap is why your actions fall flat. That's why your actions don't increase desire. And they don't do what you want them to do. Because women perceive reality, let alone how you behave, entirely different than you could ever imagine. So let's go through some examples. As you can see on this beautiful chart with my beautiful handwriting, we have your intent, which is what you want to have happen. We have the action you're doing to get that intent, and her perception, which is always the opposite of what you hope for. Let's take a look at the first example. I want to show interest. Now, what you'll see in a very common theme of all of your intents and actions is they need to be rooted in power and in value, not in fear, not in I hope she likes me, not in this is a safe move. This is going to make her see that I like her. You're going to see why I'm saying this very shortly. So your first intent is I want to show interest. Now, why would a guy want to show interest to a woman? Because he's in a fear response on a subconscious level that if he does not show interest, she's not going to be interested in him. He thinks there's a correlation. He's wrong. So what does he do? What is the action to show interest? In this example, it's frequent texting and communication. Why else would you text a woman so much other than to show with your intent that you're interested? Who the hell wants to sit on their phone all day and text a woman? I've talked to so many, it's not very high on my list. There's a lot of other amazing things you can do than text all day a woman. You want to be just setting plans. You don't want to be a pen pal. Because you have this fear in your subconscious mind about her liking you, you want to show interest, which leads to frequent texting and communication. Now, how does she perceive it? Because she definitely doesn't perceive it as, oh, great, he's showing lots of interest. Now I'm more interested in him. Wouldn't life be so easy? Well, it's not. Wake up. She perceives it as he's clingy and he has no life. Because women need to see you through a lens of power. You are either going with nature or against nature. With nature is you are powerful, you have options, you are superior, you are above her, you are desirable because of it. Against nature, she is an equal or you're below her with all this effort and you're really worried about her approval because you have no value and no power. That's the psychological, biological cycle that women perceive reality through. That's the lens. And you go against nature when you show any behavior that goes against you being a powerful man. And so very obviously, she sees it as, well, he's clingy as shit. He must have no life. Because if he had a life, and if he had other options, and if he had power, he wouldn't even have the time to talk to me all day. And therefore, that's not true, so he's a loser. That's how women perceive reality. Let's go to example number 2. I want to be romantic. Where does this come from? Fear response. You're afraid if I'm not romantic, she's not going to like me. I have to be romantic and court her. So what do? You do grand gestures and very high effort things. You might start off with a concert or a 5-star dinner or an experience of some kind. You're masking it as being romantic. What it really is you being really, really insecure of your own value. If you were certain a woman was going to like you, would you put in all this effort? No. And you would be certain if you knew you were better than her, which is what she needs. And so how does she perceive the grand gestures? He's love bombing the shit out of me. He must not be very powerful if he has to love bomb me. He must be insecure in his own worth if he has to put in all this effort to be romantic with these grand gestures. She views you as insecure because of it. Because you should be above, you should just know she's gonna like you. And if she doesn't, then it's her loss and you should just know that. And that is the energy women are drawn to. I want to prove I'm serious. How many guys want to prove they're serious because they're afraid, well, if I don't show her I'm serious about her, like, she's gonna find someone else that does and shows her. Insecure, fear response in your subconscious mind over bullshit. So what do? What's your action? You're mentioning the future early. Yeah, let's get serious. Yeah. You want kids? Or you want to be in a year? You want to get married? You're mentioning all this shit so early. And of course, she perceives it as he's so desperate for a woman. He's so desperate to be in a relationship. He's so desperate to have me like him and commit to him. He is low on the totem pole. Because no man above me would ever be so desperate. No man above me, no superior guy, no powerful guy would ever be so desperate for my commitment. I should be desperate for his commitment because that's the hierarchy with nature. Your fear response to your subconscious mind is leading you to bullshit behaviors that women see as fucking weak. And this is why your dating life sucks. Because you think women are going to perceive it how you want them to perceive it, like your intent. They see right through it. They smell the fear. And they perceive it as you're a loser. Let's go to the next one. I want to be likable. Who here is afraid of being liked? Probably everybody. Now, with women, this is a very slippery slope. And you need to eradicate, as much as possible in your subconscious mind, the fear of being liked and accepted, especially by women. Because that is feminine energy. That's what women do. Women are the ones that are up all night, anxious and insecure and worried and anorexic and worried you're gonna like them. If you model that by being worried she's gonna like you, and being concerned about being likable, how do you think she's gonna perceive you? And so what do you do to make sure you're likable? You agree with everything. You're a nice guy. You're an agreeable guy. How does she see it? He's not masculine and he has no backbone. Of course, you're behaving like a woman. You are behaving like a woman. It is your natural state as a man to not agree with everything. You should have opinions. You should stand for something. When you're truly not afraid of being liked by a person, you're authentic, you're bold, you are who you are, you speak your mind. And guess what? Not every human being on planet Earth is going to agree with you on everything. That is life. That's normal. And they know that. And so it is a red flag and a siren in their head when you're very agreeable. This guy's not very masculine, man. If he's agreeing with everything, he must be afraid of something. He must be afraid of being himself. He must be afraid of being authentic. Therefore, I now have lower confidence in him as a man because of it. Because if he truly was a man that was competent and I could look up to, would he be in fear of opinions? Would he be behaving like me, a woman? No, don't clip that. Next example. I want to show I can communicate. Why do guys do this? Because they listen to women. And they listen to women say on the internet, I want a guy that knows how to communicate. Oh, why don't you just communicate with me? And you chumps listen to them. And so what do you do with your behavior and your action? You're honest and transparent. I like you. I like where this is going. I had so much fun with you. I want to see you again soon. Are you talking to anyone else? Because I really like you and I'm going to be loyal to you. Even if you're not loyal to me. Yuck, dude. Yuck. You need to establish frame as a dictator, okay? Stop being so fucking yucky and weak. And how do they perceive it? He's so in love with me, I'm going to die. That is more or less how women perceive it. When you say, I like you, there's no more game anymore, right? Because I like you so much. Do you like me? They vomit. They think loser, 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 gay, gay, gay. That is literally their thought process. They hate it. No game. You're too transparent. When you are so concerned about communicating and being open, you destroy every single emotional stimulation possible in a woman because the game is gone. Because now there's no game. Now she just knows. And so there's no volatility. There's no emotional pull. She knows everything about you. She knows exactly how you feel. It's not fun anymore. They are bored. And they don't respect the fact that you're on your hands and knees being open. They want you to be closed off and in the dark. They want to worry about you. They want to do all these things. And so, of course, your intention backfires because now she sees you as pathetic. Because you don't know how to do the game. You don't know how to spike emotion. Because you have no discipline over your behavior. Because you're confused and there's a gap on how they perceive your actions versus how you intend them to be. I want to make sure she knows she is a priority. How many guys, especially even very successful ones, start dating a girl and then they make her the priority of his life? They put aside work, they move things around in the schedule, they do what she wants to do. And what do, right? You're always available. Last minute, 2 weeks out, a month out, you're there. She is priority number one. How does she view it? He has no other options, so why should I want him? You are fundamentally going against pre-selection, which is a necessary piece of the desire funnel for women. When you look at desire in the equation for women, there's multiple different aspects. They're all emotionally charged. One of the big ones is pre-selection. What does that mean? Pre-selection means this man is wanted by other women. Why? Women are very insecure and anxious and worried and need a shit ton of reassurance that they're making the right decision by choosing you. If there's not reassurance from other women that you are a desired person, they won't like you. They operate with herd mentality. Okay, they are sheep. It is groupthink. They don't have the capacity to make individualistic decisions. That's why they're very malleable. They're changeable. Their mental models are worldviews. And so what happens when you're always available for a woman? It goes against pre-selection because it demonstrates I have no other options. If you did have other options, you wouldn't be so available. You'd be tied up. I got that to do, I got this to do, I'm busy, I'm blah, blah, blah. And she knows it on a subconscious level and she sees right through it. And therefore, when you're always available, because you want to make sure you show her that she's a priority, she sees you as worthless and having zero value. By the way, this doesn't matter if you're a famous billionaire. I'm not kidding. I work with guys that are 7-8-figure net worth, very successful, some that are fucking world famous, literally. If you demonstrate that you're always available, they cannot help but perceive you on a micro level. They only view you through the lens of your behavior towards them. They don't see the bigger picture. Okay, they don't see the bigger picture. They don't see the fact that you are a world famous actor and you're not filming a movie right now so you have more time. They don't see that. All they see is he's a loser, he's a bum. They cannot see the bigger picture. And you have to close this perception gap of your intent, your actions, and how women perceive it if you ever want to succeed with women in dating. And if you want to become a master, I will mentor you personally one-on-one. Click the links below. I'll see you in the next video.